What's good? It's your boy Royal Play, back with another video. Okay, today we are here. We are back playing Glad Beast. Alright, Glad Beast got some new support up inside of the deck build box and end up getting Gladiator Beast United and Gladiator Beast Comeback. United is basically a quick play polymerization for Gladiator Beast, which is really good. The only downside to it is that you can only use it in the battle phase. Gladiator Beast Comeback lets you special summon one Glad Beast monster from your hand or graveyard with a different type from a monster that you control, and it cannot be destroyed by battle, which comes in clutch. The skill I'm playing with this deck is balance, which is another main part of the deck. I know, balance is trash because you're not able to special summon or use monster effects until the battle phase. But let's be honest, what really can Glad Beast do before the battle phase? There's really not too much you can do. Yeah, you can like try to turbo out Dom or Gazaris. That's really all you're gonna have. If you're really so focused on a combo part of Glass, you're basically a glass cannon at that point. The worst part about Glad Beast is the fact that they put the monsters back inside of the deck. So now you don't have no more card advantage. You lose so much card advantage with Glad Beast. It's like if they get rid of your board, then you're done for real. And it takes so much to build it back up. Until we get Test Panther, you gotta slow it down and play it slow. And since balance doesn't let you be able to use monster effects or special summon until your battle phase, it coincides really well with United. You can't activate United until the battle phase, and you can't special summon or use monster effects until the battle phase with balance. So it works out really well together. And with balance, you're guaranteed to have a trap that can protect you. That's why you gotta play the powerful, impactful traps or spell cards as well. We max out on United, and then we also playing Droplets. Droplet is a monster negate. And another thing with this deck, you want to be able to have cards in your graveyard, or monsters in your graveyard, so we can get rid of our monster in our. If we got an extra monster in our hand, we can get rid of it and send it to the grave, and it will still be useful because we can use United to be able to fusion summon it from the graveyard. So Droplet is good in here, and also playing Controller. Enemy Controller, high impact card. You can either change one of your opponent's monsters to defense mode for you can be able to attack into it with your Glad Beast for he can get his effects popping, or you can even just econ take. You can tribute your monster and take their monster, and now when you go into the battle phase, you can use United using that card that you just put in the graveyard plus the card in your hand to start your fusion summons. The downside to econ in this deck is not really a downside. It still helps us with our game plan. And then for the traps, you gotta play Ice Dragon's Prison, non-targeted removal, best trap card right now. You gotta play it. And the other trap we got is Hollow Life Barrier. You see, Hollow Life Barrier is perfect for Glass. When your opponent like commits to an attack, you can always just pop up Hollow Life Barrier, and then your monster won't get destroyed, and you take no battle damage. So now that triggers your Gladiator Beast effects to pop off. So now you can tag out and get your play started. I got Mischief only for the Tachyon to slow them down a little bit, but also really Ice Dragon Prism slowed them down too. So this can be any high impact trap. And the ratios that I chose is 6 spells, 6 traps, and 8 monsters. With playing 8 monsters, you're like, I think it's a 90% chance for you to open 2 monsters, and that's your target, is you want to open 2 monsters. So, and I found this is the best ratio that I have when I'm more consistently getting opening 2 monsters and 2 back row every time. And because you want the 2 monsters, because if you go first and you get United, you want to be able to fusion summon into Gazaris. That's why we maxed out on Bestiari, for we can have a better chance of being able to go into Gazaris on our opponent's turn. A lot of times if I don't open United, I'll probably, and I have the Bestiari, it's better to keep the Bestiari in your hand and set the other monster that you have because you'll probably have either so if you have Hollow Life Barrier, you have to discard a card, and the card you discard is Bestiary. So that put Bestiary in your graveyard. So now you're guaranteed always having that. So now when they attack into your other monster, that one will bounce back. You won't have that card on the field anymore, so that one won't be in rotation. And you always want to have Bestiary in rotation. So even if you did mess up with that, you can always just go into Atorix. Atorix is probably another key component to this deck, because Atorix is another way for you to put some monsters into the rotation, for you can have a monster in your graveyard, for you can be able to use United and it be active. So, because most of the times, what I like to do, if I'm going second, I'll normal summon one of my monsters, attack into the defense position monster, tag out into Atorix. Atorix put another Glad in the graveyard. So I'm either gonna put Bestiary or I'm gonna put Vespi in the grave, and doing that will allow you to be able to use United now at the end, for you can either go into down because you got that extra body. So now you got 3 monsters, because you have 1 on the field, 1 in the grave, and 1 in your hand, because you're more than likely opening 2 monsters. So you can either go in the down for you can have a monster negate on your opponent's turn, or if you know they got some impact cards that you don't want them to have, you go into Gazaris and pop 2 of their cards, and then you'll still got your trap for their protection. That's enough of me talking right now. Let's jump into some games for I can show y'all how it plays. Alright, let's get it popping. This is the first hand we got. We started off with Atorix, United, Vespi, and Ice Dragon's Prison. Alright, this is like a typical hand that you probably see. I call it the V set that we're about to do. We normally summon the cards, set 2 background, and with a monster in our hand. This is probably what you're going to be doing 90% of the times you go first. Are we up against Tachyon? They doing their thing. Got trading. See, they activated. One thing I learned about playing Tachyon is Ice Dragon's Prism, once they use Spiral Dragon, really slowed them down a lot. So that's what I recommend. And the only thing about this, if they got a Nebula in their hand, then they'll still be able to do some stuff. But if not, then you're usually going to be good. So they've been banished 2 of them. And I always leave that 4 up by itself. He attacked into me, so now I can trigger off. Bestiary can pop his back row. So now we good. Drew into another Bestiary. All we have to do is attack here. Summon the Vespi from the hand. Attack. Attack again. That was pretty easy. Alright, let's get it popping. This is our next hand. This time we got Bestiary, Hollow Life Barrier, Vespi, and United. Going second against Tachyon. So now we got to play through a Tachyon board. Alright, they got their fail grant. Nebula, let them get into another rank 8. Alright, so they got the fail grant, Tachyon, and a face down card, and I'm pretty sure this is the counter trap in their hand. So let's see how we play through this. Alright, we drew into Ice Dragon's Prism. So we gonna set the Bestiary, Hollow Life Barrier, and the United in the Ice Dragon's Prism, because I decided I'm not gonna attack this turn, because I wanna because I know he got that negate, so I want to be able to play around that negate, because if I would have just went in there, he would have just negated the United right there. So I'd rather wait and see if I can get him to put a card in the graveyard so I can bait him out with the Ice Dragon's Prism. Using the skill, summon another monster. He decided to go just to overpower me with attacks, which is an interesting play. But let's see what happens. Alright, I started off with Ice Dragon's Prism. So I'm going to try to get rid of his Tachyon is what I'm going for. He ended up triggering Felgrant for he can he ended up triggering Felgrant to try to stop it, but he ended up targeting Felgrant, so I'm assuming he just misplayed on his hand, on his turn. So now I can get rid of the Tachyon right there. And then since the attack's still going through, I use Hollow Life Barrier, so now forced on attacking the Bestiary to get the Etorix. Etorix send the Bestiary to the grave. So now I can go into Gazaris. I end up missing timing because I chained it to Etorix. I chained the United to Etorix effect. I should have waited to after it resolve, then use United, and then I would have been able to get the pop off, and then I would have popped one of his monsters and his face down. So then we go in for an attack. Yeah, so then we go in for the attack, and now we are a tag out into Equest and Etorix. When you attack with Gazaris, 90% of the time these are the two you're gonna go for, because you want to be able to get advantage back when you do these. Since Glad Beasts usually mess up their they don't really have card advantage like that because of putting their monsters back into the deck. So you always want to get two cards to put advantage that gives you advantage, and Equest is one of them, and Etorix is as well, because it lets you put a card in the graveyard, and your graveyard is just an extension to your hand with this deck. So Etorix will bring back the United, and Equest will bring back the United, and Etorix will send Bestiary to the grave. Then you use United to go into Gazaris, which triggers Gazaris, popping both his monsters. He used Ice Dragon's Prism just to have another monster for he can attack into me, which is okay. I use United going into him for I can attack into his monster. Then I tried to attack, and then tagged it back into the deck. So now we in a top deck situation. He ended up not getting nothing. He just attacked the game, just like that. Alright, this guy right here was on a 16-game win streak, right? I made him had a bad day. I know he was so mad he lost like Glad Beast. Alright, we up against Tachyon again. Going second, so we gotta play through their board. He got the trap. He's trading. Nebula. Going to Tachyon. Alright, so it's our turn. We going second. We just gotta worry about his counter trap, a face down. Let's see how we can do this. I decided to play it slow, or not even play it slow. We went into the battle phase and was about to pop off. He ended up negating it, which was good because we was okay with it. We wanted to bait out his trap because we got Ice Dragon's Prism. So now on their turn we can get rid of his Tachyon. So now we ain't got to worry about him protecting it with the trap. Then he used Compose, which is fine. Okay, grab Nebula. Bounce that back to the hand to grab the rank up magic. I triggered the Ice Dragon Prism to the rank up magic to grab the spiritual for he can't special summon that. So now he ain't got no monsters he can summon yet. So he was able to go into Nebula right there for he can attack directly, which is fine. And that's more than enough because we end up drawing into United. And you see, that's game. Attack there. Use United to go on the dime just in case he has something else. Just like that. Let's get it poppin'. This time we're up against Shiranui. And we got Bestiari, Vespi, Lucario, and United. I'm assuming he misplayed because he ended on this. So we just go normal summon Lucario and attack. He ended up banishing. I triggered the Vespi to attack with it. I didn't realize that he protected himself for battle damage because I did not read the trap, or I would have not went into Gazaris. Alright, he went Shogun Saga, then Spirit Master. So he can go into Sun Saga, he get a couple pops there. And then he go into the Link, banishing Spirit Master to pop our other monster. Using the skill. Now he can attack me directly. So now, right here, I know he got a Shiranui. I know the Link monster can special summon a card or special summon Sun Saga at any point. So since I end up drawing into the Ice Dragon's Prism, but I know I have 3 monsters in the graveyard, and one of them is Vespi. So that means I can go into. I want to be able to go on a dime before they summon Sun Saga. So as long as I go on the dime, I can't lose. So I try to bait her out first with using comeback. Still didn't do anything. I went in the battle phase to go into dime. Tried to use the effect, chain it, negate. Then free board. Just like that. Let's get it poppin'. Alright, this time we up against Tingy. And go on a Monk. Go into the Link 2. Go into Berserker. Alright, so I just said 2 because I really didn't have nothing right. I kind of bricked, so I would just need to buy another turn. I still didn't really get too much, so I tried to go. I used to come back to special summon the Vespi, but he had the cylinders. Use a Torix to send the Bestiari. So now I just need United. I had enough to attack over so I could bounce into Gazaris. Right here, I went into Darius right here because I knew he was going to be able to. I knew if he attacked into me, I can use droplets to send the Bestiari to the grave so I can lower his attack so I could tag out Darius. So he ended up going to, I feel like he ended up doing too much. He ended up going into the Tingy, the Link 2 to try to bring it back, but I ended up using droplets to get rid of it, to negate it. So now he's stuck. Darius can attack. Lucario attacks. Darius tags out for Equest. Equest get us back. Come back. Then Lucario grabs Vespi. He used the skill. And right here, I kind of knew I was good. Well, I didn't know I was good yet. He ended up bouncing him back, which wasn't ideal. He went back in the muck, so he can get a third one. So now he can go in a berserker. So then he ended up attacking. I used Vespi so I can have another body on the board, and it protected me from losing. So now I can use Prover Ground to bring me back a monster, then normal summon the monster so I can go into Dom. So now I can attack. He tried to use the blue, but I can negate that with Dom. And now I got a free board. He tried to use the effect. I negate it. Just like that. As you can see, Glad's got some plays. You can outplay your opponent. It's not like it's not guaranteed. It's still kind of slow. If they like banish any one of your cards, then you're really behind. So it get bad at that point. But they really fun to play. I've been having a lot of fun playing with them. I've went on a couple little streaks. Once you get Test Panther and Tamer, it's gonna be you'll be able to make a lot more plays with Glads. But until then, you gotta play it slow. I feel like this is the best way to play it at the moment. If you think it's another way you should play it, let me know. So tell me what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe.